I cannot believe it, but this is my 100th video for this YouTube channel. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching so far, and I'm really excited for the next 100 videos. So we're starting the day in Tribeca at P.P.O.W. Gallery to see an exhibit by Clementine, Keith-Roach, and Christopher Page. And despite sharing a home, children, and an entire life together, this is actually the married couple's first dedicated exhibition together. Keith-Roach makes these incredibly detailed Jesmonite sculptures. And I wasn't familiar with Jesmonite, but it is an eco-friendly material that's sort of a sister to concrete, and it's becoming increasingly popular among artists. And then we have, in contrast to the sculptures, these oil paintings on canvas that Page makes that are lining the walls. And so together the works explore the concept of the interior and the exterior in both a literal and a metaphorical sense. A great example of this is in Keith-Roach's play on the meaning of vessel. So many of the sculptures are physical vessels or objects that can hold liquids, such as a bowl or a cask. In fact, she's actually filled them, some of them, with a milk-like substance or water to really further drive home their purpose. And vessels are often seen as objects of the home, representing domesticity or the interior of one's life. And by incorporating the human form into the sculptures, Keith-Roach is alluding to how humans are vessels in the metaphorical sense, that our bodies are just containers for what truly matters, which is our soul, our hearts, and our ideas. So we have what people see on the exterior, which is our bodies, and then there's what people see on the interior, which is our true selves. Our next stop is going to see an exhibit by Vickie Vainionpää at the whole Gallery's Tribeca space, and the show is titled Software. And Vickie's a Montreal-based artist who's known for creating works that explore the relationship between the body and technology. So she creates the works that we're seeing here from a computer script that generates these strange organic forms that sometimes resemble intestines or other shapes that can be found within biology. And she's inspired by the forms that are generated by the computer script. So she captures their movement and their dimension in a really hyper-realistic way with oil on canvas. And the gallery states that, quote, "generated in code and rendered materially in paint, Vainionpää embraces the forward momentum of technology in a world that is, in the words of Alan Watts, a marvelous system of wiggles." In the back of the gallery, we actually get to have a little peek at some of the code-generated works that inspired the painting pieces in the front. This is actually the artist's first immersive video piece, and this is titled Dark Mode. Our next stop is going to be 52 Walker, which is a subsidiary or an imprint of sorts of David's Warner Gallery, but they focus on less commercial and more conceptual and research-based artists. So this is an exhibit by Nora Turato titled Govern Me Harder. And here she's utilizing her past training as a graphic designer to create this really extensive text-driven installation. I mean, the scale is really impressive. Turato sources the words and the phrases used throughout the exhibit from, quote, social media platforms, news headlines, exhibition press releases, and her own thoughts. And while at first glance the words seem random, they're actually meant to capture the tone of, quote, consumer capitalism and internet culture. So we went right across the street to Bortolami Gallery to see an exhibit by Daniel Buren. And Buren is known for working in situ, which is Latin for on-site or locally. So this means that he creates works for a particular time and a place in order to transform the space and really transport the viewer. So he uses these contrasting stripes as well as this reflective, colorful surface to create a set of almost windows on the gallery walls. And this 8.7 centimeter in width strip is actually derived from the fabric he first used as a canvas in 1965. And this has been a constant throughout his work since then. So no matter how much changes in his works, depending on the architecture of the space he's creating a show for, these strips of fabric always remain the same. So after a quick outfit change, I'm heading over to Galerie Perrotin in the East Village to see a very exciting and interactive piece by Paola Pivi on the 3rd floor. So a signature of Pivi's practice is creating structures that induce wonder and play. So this is a 100-foot-long denim tunnel that is meant to be completely interactive. So visitors can walk, crawl, or roll through the structure. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So they give you these cool sort of like space suits in order to protect your clothing since the denim dye can rub off. And they also give you socks to give you a better grip with your feet. All in all, it is a very cool ensemble, if I do say so myself. So you do have to start backwards just to get in properly. And then, like I said before, you can crawl, you can roll, nothing too extreme because they don't want to damage the artwork, obviously. But yeah, it can be a bit challenging for sure. This was such a fun way to end the night. I really hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you again for watching my 100th video. This is such a crazy milestone for me.